Just for the record, just want to note that our chairperson and vice chair are not in attendance at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and manage and run the meeting until hopefully our vice chair arrives. So I'll go ahead and start with roll call. Commissioner Campisi?
Here.
Commissioner Chabot?
Present.
Commissioner Cho?
Here.
Commissioner Edwards?
Here.
Commissioner Garcia?
Here.
Commissioner Huynh?
Here.
Commissioner Wong?
Here.
Commissioner Lewin?
Here.
Commissioner Oskan?
Here.
Commissioner Sorgan?
Here.
Commissioner Weiss?
Here.
Okay, and I just want to note the absences of Commissioners Mao, Tagvoy, our Vice Chair Priya, Vice Chair Ramcharan, and our Chairperson Reeds, but we do have a quorum. So if we can stand and do the salute to the flag, please. And ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so I will take a motion to approve the order of the agenda unless anyone would like to move any items around.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, and that was Commissioner Chabot? You did, okay, thank you. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Okay, so we'll move on to blue folder items. We have none this evening. So now we can move on to item F, our consent calendar. We do have 3 items on the consent calendar. Are there any on the consent calendar that a commissioner would like to pull for discussion? If not, we can take a motion to approve the balance.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar. I'll go ahead and take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay. Okay. We can move on now to, we will skip item G since no items were pulled. And so that will take us to item H, public participation on non-agenda items. This is an opportunity for members of the public to present anything to the commission that it would like to on items that are not listed on the agenda. We will set aside 30 minutes for this section, and we will see if we have any written requests first. No, okay, so we have no written requests. Do we have anyone online? Okay, is anyone in the audience would like to speak to the commission? No, okay, great. Okay, so we can go ahead and close public participation. We will skip item I. We have no items continued from previous agendas, and that will take us to our first discussion item for the evening. And this is to receive and file a presentation regarding the Perry Park Teen Center facility, including amenities, equipment, events, and activities. And I will turn that over to our recreation manager, Michelle Pinedo, and she will go ahead and do the presentation on the Teen Center.
Thank you, Kelly. Good evening, everyone. Give me 1 second just so I can pull this up. Can you guys see that on your screen? Perfect. So tonight I'm just going to give you a brief presentation on the Perry Park Teen Center and some of the activities that have been going on there. Just a few old photos before COVID. So this is a little bit of the look of what the Teen Center used to look like. If you have not been at the Teen Center, it is really just one big open space inside. And so what we've done is kind of partition certain areas to give the feel of like a lounge space, the lounge space, gaming area, and so forth. And you'll see some photos throughout this presentation. I won't take a deep dive into what last year's Youth Commission did because Kelly has already done that in previous meetings this year, but just want to know that the Instagram page was something that last year's Youth Commission really spearheaded. Our city staff are currently managing that Instagram page, but we welcome any feedback from you guys of what you would like to see posted there. This youth commission also did the survey, and we collected 214 responses from teenagers, mainly from Redondo Union, that gave us a look into what exactly teens wanted out of the teen center. So really everything that's in the teen center and how it was built out was based out of the survey that we collected through this youth commission last year. We did host an open house that gave teens an opportunity to look at the big open space and kind of present what those ideas were that staff pulled from the survey, and got a little bit more additional feedback from those teens at that time. And that was in late spring of this year. We hosted our reopening event September 25th of this year. Some of you guys here attended that event. We had a great turnout. We invited a few guests. School of Rock performed. They did an amazing job. We had Alcove that had a table. We served ice cream and really just allowed an opportunity for teens to explore the space with their parents and younger siblings. So it really was a successful event. These are just some of the amenities that we have. So like I described, to the left is a little bit of a lounge space. We do have smart TVs. So we have 2 TVs, one in the main lounge area, and then we have a floating TV that we can set up elsewhere. We have PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch. We ordered the vintage arcade game that you see on the top right corner that has hundreds of vintage arcade games that teens can use. It is not coin operated, so anyone is available to use that amenity. Ping pong tables, and have, like I said, the lounge areas, some collaborative workstations where we've seen a lot of teens go and sit and do their homework before they actually use the other amenities. And then we have an outdoor lounge space, as you see where the School of Rock performance was, where we have some seating area there that teens have really taken advantage of just hanging out at. It's at Perry Park, so there's also the amenity of the basketball courts, and we have done pickleball games with some of the teens, and so we've done a lot of competitions, whether it's like pickup basketball or pickleball, and so that's something that we kind of put in our rotation for activities. So just a few photos of what it looked like before and after, just to give you some insight if you have not actually been inside the teen center. So really kind of like use the color tones that we got, that the team selected earlier this spring. And then just so you can see some of the like outdoor loungy space. We did cover the fencing area with artificial greenery just to provide more privacy, because you could really see in and out through the street view, and it kind of just felt like you're sitting in a little bit of a fishbowl. And so we covered up that area and then installed lighting up above so that it can be a cool like space to hang out with in the area once the sun gets to set a little earlier. So teens really have been using this space to just really go and hang out with their friends. I did want to do a special shout out to the team on the bottom right corner. That's our facilities public works team. This crew was really the part of the crew that helped gut the old structure. So everything that you see that's like in the red, yellow, blue tones, they really did the demo work for all of that and helped and did a lot of like the painting, the restructuring, and then in addition to a lot of the furniture that was ordered from our office wasn't built. And so they built the basketball hoops, right? The tables, everything that needed assembly. This Public Works facilities team actually did all of that work for us. So we were really grateful for them. So when we first originally opened the teen center, we opened the day after the opening because we did our grand opening on Thursday. The first day that we opened was a Friday, and we're open Monday through Friday. This is just an example of what our original schedule was, and this was based off of the feedback that we had gotten from some teens and parents at that open house. And so we kind of split the time between middle schoolers and high schoolers. What we noticed fairly quickly was that the high school days, no one was showing up. We did reach out to Redondo Union the flyers went out via email, and we had been posting on Instagram. And so on those days, we were having middle school students just stand outside and literally knocking at the door, like, can we come in? Can we come in? The high schoolers are not here yet. And so eventually we would let them in after an hour. And so then we collaboratively decided that we would just open up the doors to everyone to come in. At that point, we would have some freshmen from Redondo Union that would show up and hang out, and maybe like 1 or 2 sophomores. But really, the age group that we're getting is that middle school age group, 7th grade, 8th grade, and then some freshmen that are coming to the teen center at the time. So this is what our new schedule looks like. And I wanted to share this December calendar schedule just because it is the month of December, but also it really showcases how we change our hours of operation based on the school schedules, right? So if we have any one of the 2 middle schools or Redondo Union that has early dismissal, then we would set our hours to be to that early dismissal time. So you'll see, for example, this week we have some 12:30 to 6 p.m. schedule. Our typical regular running schedule would be 2 to 6 p.m. on Mondays, and the rest of the week would be 3 to 6 p.m. On non-school days, we have adjusted our schedule to be 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We get a really high turnout on non-school days. Teens just want somewhere to go. So we've had anywhere from like 50 students that show up to about 75 students that show up on non-school days. We do an activity per day or provide some kind of activity for them to do. And this is all, in the beginning, staff created that calendar, but we do have a suggestion box at the teen center and we hear from them on a daily basis. And so the calendar that we currently have for December is a lot of like what they are interested in. They do love like competition games. So there's going to be like Lego building will be an actual competition where there's 2 little bit more difficult Lego pieces to build. They will break out into 2 teams and then they'll all each get a chance, and it'll be timed on how much time they get to spend. And then the team that wins will get a prize. So the teams that have been attending have been very like prize driven and competition driven. So we've really noted that and try to incorporate that in some of the activities that we host. We will be closed for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day. So just want to note that. And then these are some of the activities that we've had. We've hosted like very mini socials that include like cultural events like Dia de los Muertos, where the teens have learned about, if they have not already, about a certain cultural event, and then provide food attached to that. And then have done a few food crafts, cooking experiences. On the bottom left corner, you'll see them cheersing during a Friendsgiving event that we hosted right before Thanksgiving. And then we got a really nice tree donated from a Redondo family that the teens got to decorate this past week, and had some nice cocoa and cookies with that. So just a few of the activities that have really been going on. We also hosted a murder mystery dinner in October that they really enjoyed. And so probably something that we would be looking forward to host again, and maybe doing like a murder mystery again for the middle school students and doing a separate one for the high school students to participate in. So just an example of like next week's schedule, we usually create these to post on the teen Instagram page, and the full month schedule is posted on our website, but we try to post this and we schedule it for like Sunday at 8 a.m. just so that if someone looks through the teen Instagram page, they can see on Sunday what's going to happen the following week. Our department has made connections with several other organizations or with other departments internally. So we've connected with the Redondo Union School to Career program to figure out any like tutoring solutions or any collaboration programming. I will be circling back with them and hopefully reset for the new year to see how we can incorporate that tutoring program. the Beach City Health District, Alcove, Redondo Beach PD, the library, Redondo Beach Fire, and also are in contact with Redondo Beach High School, Middle School admin, so that when we have some kind of social that we can actually release an email either to the parents or the students. Some of the future plans, and this is just a very small snippet of it, but wanted to figure out a way to host quarterly high school socials, and that would be with, you know, the assistance of this youth commission, right? We're not going to target those high school students without your assistance. And so if there's like specific socials that you guys would be interested in hosting or think that your friends would be interested in attending, at the end of this presentation, I will have my phone number and my email available for you guys to reach out and let me know some of your ideas. So planning on some gatherings, events, at various city locations. I know that we heard from maybe doing like a campfire at Wilderness Park, doing a volleyball game at Seaside Lagoon, or some kind of like teens only space at Seaside Lagoon. Workshops in collaboration with like Alcove, the high school. We heard that you guys get enough like drug prevention stuff at school. And so maybe facilitating other workshops, whether it's like maybe doing a workshop where we do job preparation, or if you want to come and interview prep and do a practice interview, like coming in prepared. Do we, you know, collaborate and get donations for students that don't have interview clothing, and how do we facilitate that? There's been a few incidences with e-bikers and middle school students that have happened around the South Bay. I'm sure you guys have heard. I have been in contact with PD to figure out how to cross-collaborate on some opportunities. But one thing that me and my team would like to try to execute in the next year would be some kind of mentor program where we have volunteers from the high school that are juniors or seniors that then mentor middle school students to kind of help guide them in the right direction. And so kind of like sometimes you see the little buddy program, 8th graders mentoring 1st graders, similar to that. And so that is one of the programs that we're interested in also rolling out maybe in the next year. And then again, tutoring via volunteers. And then they've loved, the teens that have been attending have really loved the cooking events and the competitions. And so really those are the things that really have shown a high interest, they have shown a high interest in. So I'd strongly encourage you guys to follow us if you're not already, Redondo Teens. We like to post, and we're working on posting a little bit more live action stuff and posting reels. So that's like the next step for our department. And so follow us there. You'll see what we have going on and what's upcoming. And really just want to hear your feedback. We always welcome feedback. We all have a suggestion box at the Teen Center, so we've been getting a lot of notes from the teens, which has been very helpful in developing the calendars. You guys can also just email teens@redondo.org, or if you want to set up a call with me, or shoot me some, if you want to just shoot me some ideas, bullet point, you don't have to put too much work into it. Send me your ideas. You can always email me or call me or text me on the phone number that I have posted here. I have a few business cards. I can give you guys each one at the end of the meeting, but that concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, so before I turn it over, I just want to just thank Michelle and her team. The Teen Center, as you can see from some of those pre-photos, was certainly a location that may not have been somewhere that teens wanted to be at. It definitely was somewhat dated, and so between the remodel and all of the amenities and really listening to the feedback and really thinking critical about how we can best use that space, her team has really put a lot of time and effort into it, and I'm so proud of the work that they've done and to see the participation rates only continuing to grow. So it's really great. And we truly can't continue to be successful until we hear from you guys. And so we really wanted this item tonight to do two things. It became apparent through some of our previous discussions that maybe the entire commission hasn't had an opportunity to be at the space just yet. And so because it is relatively new, we wanted to provide an opportunity to show some photos and just show you exactly what's going on there. And then two, if there is any input tonight, certainly all the input we've received, we have shared with our teams. They're working to implement what they can. But if there's anything else tonight that you'd like to share with us, please let us know now. Of course, if you have any questions, Michelle or myself are available. But as Michelle stated, feel free to at any time reach out. You can call, text, you can email, however you're most comfortable reaching out, please do so. So with that, I will turn it over. If anyone has any questions or comments or input or anything that we can talk through, please feel free.
Actually, I do have something to ask. So I remember earlier in the presentation you were saying how a lot of the demographics of the kids showing up to the teen centers was mainly middle schoolers and maybe a few high schoolers, but mainly middle schoolers. And the last time I went there, I remember there was a sheet at the beginning, at the front of the teen center, like marking what grade you're in. So I was wondering, like, do you guys take like maybe like a data survey of how many like middle schoolers versus high schoolers are going there, and then maybe based off that data make like adjustments to what middle schoolers want more than what high schools want? I was just wondering like if you had like a data survey for that kind of
We don't have a data survey that we've compiled. It's minimal, the amount of high school students have been coming versus middle school students. It's a big notable difference. The suggestions that we've been implementing in programming has just been based on like a blindsided suggestion box. So in the suggestion box, we don't ask what grade they're in. We certainly will be doing a presentation to council on Perry Park Teen Center where we'll have some more data collected for them on attendance rates. But I don't have those numbers on me right now.
Okay, got it.
I just wanted to say, I know a lot of kids in my grade, especially like a lot of my friends, don't really know about the teen center because there hasn't really been any like communication from maybe the school. Maybe we could get the school to talk about it or send an email out about it. And the only way like I knew about it was because of this. And some of my friends have been there, but mainly other than that, I know a lot of like, especially like the freshmen don't really know like a lot about this place and like don't know if like what to do there. And I think maybe if we like expand how to like maybe get the idea more out there, then a lot more people will start coming.
Sure. What would be helpful, I know that when I was looking at Redondo, because I've gone on campus for like career days or to go speak to some government classes about the Youth Commission, but I haven't explored the entirety of the campus. What would be helpful is for this commission to just, someone on this commission or several of you guys to just shoot me over some ideas of how we can potentially promote that. I know that there's banners on school sites like for football games, right? And so that was one of the things that I was looking at, maybe paying for promotion about the teen center so that during sporting events it can be available. But where, like, if someone can just shoot me an email on where do you guys have your, any rallies where the majority of students congregate, is there banners in those areas, just so that I can do an outreach? Because I don't want to blindly be like, hey, I want a banner at your school, but I'm not really sure where. I would really love your suggestions on where you guys think that would be best placed.
I think that would be in the big gym, but I was going to say maybe if you wanted to reach out to RUTV, which is Redondo's broadcasting, they like to do a segment on like local businesses, and maybe we could reach out and be like, we have the teen center for teens if they would like to come, and kind of show that it's revamped and all the new activities, and maybe that would like entice them to pay us a visit.
Commissioner Weiss, would you be able to email me their contact?
I'm not sure who it is. I don't know if anyone here is on RUTV.
I know a friend who is on RUTV, so I could definitely forward you his email.
So I know a couple friends in RUTV.
Yeah, if each one of you guys can, get me a contact, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
I also think, like you said, having banners around the school is a great idea. And one place that has a lot of accumulated students is the quad. And I've noticed, I think you guys also noticed that one banner, the Gemini banner, that was actually presented by the marketing team in Redondo Union High School. We have a marketing class, and I was actually in that class, so I have a close relationship with the teacher, Miss Land. So if you want me to talk to her about that too, maybe we can have like a collab with them where they have like a lesson to make a banner or poster for the teen center where we could present around the school.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, I would really appreciate that.
Okay, this is super helpful. We really appreciate it. You guys are really boots on the ground and know a lot of these extra connections. So thank you for that. Is there anything else in regards to the Teen Center now that you have Michelle and I both here? Again, we don't need to share anything tonight. We shared a lot of information already on what's already going on, and you have the contact information. So again, feel free at any time, but now would be the time if you have anything additional. We can also see if there's any public comment now. If you guys want a moment, let's go ahead and do that then. There's no one in the audience. Let me see if there's anyone online. Okay, we have no one online, so we'll go ahead and close public comment.
And just to know, I wanted to reiterate, we really would like to engage the high school students to use the Teen Center, but also figure out what other programming you guys want throughout the city. So you guys are going to be like the key people that would help us figure what that is. So it would be super helpful if you guys talk to your friends, figure out what you guys would be most interested in, and we can really try to make that come to fruition.
I did just want to say, I do know finals weeks is coming up in like around a few weeks. And I was thinking maybe at the Teen Center, we could have something where like kids can go to maybe study or to like relax and like after school ends. Cause the high school, we get out early on finals weeks. So maybe we could open earlier on those days and you guys could have something like studying, like a study session where it's like a quiet place for people to study, or maybe like, just something to help people like de-stress.
Yeah, I also wanted to point out your idea of like a workshop for like creating job opportunities in the future. I think that's a more like prevalent topic for high schoolers than it is for middle schoolers. So I think having something like that would definitely bring high schoolers to the Teen Center.
Great, thank you.
Okay. So with that, I'll go ahead and we can move on to the next item. This was just receive and file, and actually, so we do need a motion. I apologize. So if I can just have a motion to receive and file the presentation and the input that was received.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, perfect. So we will move on to item J2, and we do have another presentation for that one, so we'll get that pulled up in just a moment. And that is the item to approve the task assignments for the Communications and Social Media Subcommittee and the Teen Center and Events Subcommittee. So if you'll remember at last month's commission meeting, the commission, we worked on creating our somewhat strategic plan, if you will, for the next year. And as part of that, you created 2 subcommittees. And we'll get that up in just a moment. Thank you. Go to the next. Sorry, we got to move around a little bit. And so we created 2 subcommittees. The first one is the Communications and Social Media Subcommittee. And just for information purposes, I do have the commissioners listed on here that were selected to serve on the subcommittees. We don't need to do anything with that tonight. That's really just informational, but we can remove someone if they want to remove themselves or add. But for the purpose of this item for tonight is for the commission to confirm that the task assignments, which is the text underneath, is what you all want it to be. Last month, what we did is we were just kind of throwing out general ideas, And for the sake of time, I had just said that we would return after really looking at the input we received, and we would try to craft all of that into a single statement. And so that's what we're here tonight for. So for this first one, the Communications and Social Media Subcommittee, the task assignment, the draft that we have come up with is to determine a manageable strategy for ensuring ongoing and regular social media posts. That should be with consideration of utilizing multiple platforms to increase outreach efforts. Consider creative ways to promote the work of the Youth Commission, events, activities, and updates to the city's website to be more teen-focused where appropriate. So if there's anything we missed here, now would be the time. Otherwise, we can move forward onto the next subcommittee if we've been able to capture everything effectively on here. Okay, I see a lot of nodding heads, so we'll move on to the next one. The second one is the Teen Center and Events Subcommittee. And what we have put together is that this subcommittee would provide ongoing support for teen programs, services, and events held throughout the city with special consideration for small business activations, teen entrepreneur events, potential fundraisers for the Teen Center, and teen-focused activations on the pier. Work with staff to determine whether teen artwork can be displayed at the Teen Center. That was probably the most specific item that was put on there. We were trying to be somewhat general, but there seemed to be a consensus that this is something we wanted to consider. So is there anything that was missed here, or did we capture it all pretty effectively in here? Okay, that's great. Okay, let me just make sure before we do a motion, there's still no one in the audience, I'm sure there's no one online. Sorry. We're going to have to remove the presentation for just a moment to just make sure there's no one online.
No one online.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have no one online, so we'll go ahead and close public comment. So I'm happy to answer any questions if there's anything else we want to add to that. Otherwise, we can just do a motion to approve both of those task assignments. We can do that in a single motion.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve. We'll go ahead and take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great.
Kelly,
Yes.
I just had a clarifying question. The max for the subcommittees is 7 people, right?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Mhm. And so from this point on, we will have a standing item on all of our agendas that will just be for the subcommittees, and it will list that task assignment and all the commissioners that are serving on it. And that item will serve as an opportunity for subcommittees to provide an update to the commission on any work that they've completed since the previous meeting. So if there was a meeting held, if they had a workshop on something, and also at that time, we can remove or add commissioners at that time. So it can be done every month. Okay, so we are moving on to item J3, our staff liaison report, and I have just a few really quick items. Wanted to just give you a heads up that we are scheduled, and I have confirmed with the police department that they will be here at our January meeting to do a presentation on e-bike safety and vandalism. That was something you all requested and really was your standout kind of main focus item. And so we'll start with that presentation. If there's additional information or resources, we can always see if they can come back and do some supplemental presentations for you guys, but that's really our starting off point to see which direction you guys want to go with that. So happy to say that we're moving into that. As we get closer to that meeting, if there is any special topic or kind of a special consideration around e-bikes that you would like them to touch upon in the presentation that you think would be helpful, please reach out to me. I'm going to share them, just some general input that I've received at the meetings here so that they can really make that presentation responsive to what you all have discussed. But if there is anything that pops into your mind, please feel free to let me know so that the presentation is as helpful as possible. And speaking of that January meeting, just a reminder, we did reschedule the January meeting, so it will be on January 7th. It'll be a week after the typical meeting. I believe that's on a Wednesday, and that was because the regular one was on January 1st, which is a holiday. So you will get your agenda a week prior as usual, but just know that it'll be the second week in January, not the first week. And that concludes all of my reports for you guys. I just want to wish you all happy holidays. We'll see you guys in 2026. And hope you guys have a great next few weeks. And so that concludes that item. We'll move on to item K. It's our commission member items and future commission agenda topics. Does anyone have anything that they would like to bring up to the commission for consideration? No? Okay. All right, so we can go ahead and move on to adjournment. Can I have a motion and a second to
Motion.
adjourn the meeting? Okay, thank you. You guys are on it. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay, thank you so much. We'll see you guys in January. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
You too.